tree. My monkey don't hit, my monkey don't cool, my monkey be swing with me. My monkey don't free, my monkey don't pet, my monkey don't wear no cape. But you can tell when my monkey wanna eat, cause it turn into a big old egg. Shut the fuck up.
We at the Pizza Hut, we at the Taco Bell, we at the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. Welcome to the quiet place. Our guest couldn't make it this week, so we're going to be winging it. And apparently Jeremy, once again, has cast me on the breakers to sit here alone.
Welcome to the quiet place, now FDA approved. Contains high fructose corn syrup, modified cornstarch, cellulose gum, sucralose, sodium hexametaphosphate, yellow 5, and calcium disodium ETTA to protect color.
And the corn cob that Jeremy keeps up his ass.
All right, now we got a poser among us. Let's see if they're actually, entertainment worthy, or if they're just full of shit, like most of my detractors. All right, let's hear it.
Hi guys, this is Jeremy.
Oh, this
Jeremy
is Gregor.
Maddox.
This is Gregor. Okay.
That's Jeremy Maddox.
Jeremy doesn't sound anything like that.
I
This
know.
is Jeremy Maddox. I like new metal.
I wish I did. I wish I did sound like that, though. I really do.
Welcome to the quiet place.
Yeah. I wish that I sounded like sparkling glass like Alex Jones, but
It'd be like, you're basically a Southern Tom Waits, apparently.
Yeah, so guys, what do you guys think about what's going on in Afghanistan?
Jesus Christ, I was 12 years.
It's like
I was 12. I was 12 years old when Afghanistan started. What the fuck?
He took Tom Waits, Alex Jones, and Harry Carey and threw them all in a blender, and he's trying to approximate me, which I'm flattered by, But I don't sound like any of those people, I don't think.
I'm Jeremy Maddox.
So
Yeah.
why did that make you cry? Why did that clip of me singing and having a good time make you cry? Is it because I was having a good time for a change? Or because I had a button missing on my shirt? Is that what made you cry? Or
Goats don't cry.
No, I mean, I don't care about that. I mean, it was just a terrible video.
It was just cringe.
then
Yeah,
why
it was
everybody-
it was cringe, I guess is what
I know
it was
everything I
about.
do will always be cringe, but it's funny that most people high-fived me on that.
Well,
While I was having a good time for a change. And some of my friends want me to sing in a band. I'm not saying that I'm that good, but they seem to think so. I mean,
if you were to sing in a band, I'd be interested in seeing that.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not interested in seeing you on the patio or whatever the hell you're doing by a grill, drunk at 3 o'clock in the morning, sweaty and weird acting.
That was fun. That was the most fun I've had in a
I'm
while.
glad you had fun doing it. I just didn't.
No,
need
but
to see it.
fucking some family member got all up in arms about it, like some gated community type reaction. Like,
yeah. Well, so what was that about? Because I mean, I really don't care. Because
I know.
No, he was just teasing you for posting cringe.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, everything I do will always be cringed in. I don't care.
That's why we love you. You're the Cringe Master 9000.
Right.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
then some of your real life takes are incredibly cringe. So I mean, and that's intentional. So
In a time where to be base is to be evil, to be cringe is the only thing you can be.
So
good, right?
who got on you? I mean, what did the people say that they genuinely had a problem with you acting like a fool?
You know what? I'm not gonna say who it was, just that it was a family member.
But what did they say?
Yeah, apparently they got mad at you because, like, oh, you should be at work. You shouldn't be doing this.
I'm gonna read.
Is that what it was?
I'm gonna read what they wrote without actually saying who it is.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Jeremy, it is time to get back to work. Really fucking nagging. You shouldn't be drinking at home alone nor posting it on Facebook. First off, I didn't bust out the phone and start recording. My friend did.
Yeah, you weren't alone there.
Yeah, you weren't
There was
alone.
someone
You had
recording.
somebody
What the
laughing
fuck?
at you.
Right. But I mean, he's the one who got out the phone and recorded it, and he said it was good. So I thought, what am I going
to laugh at? Yeah, for sure.
People talk. A mature 38-year-old knows this. I tell you things because I care, and your mom would want me to. Mom would not care about this. That's where she did this to mom and dad at one point or another, try to tell them how to live and how to change, and they just brushed her off. See, so
Jeremy, how dare you not work after you've been through an extremely traumatic experience during the middle of a pandemic? You should be going back out to flip burgers for fat screaming Karens.
Yeah. I pray you meet a young woman. Well, I don't. Why don't I meet an older woman, who's smarter, and I can graduate past all the bullshit emotional, diarrhea or whatever,
Yeah, you should have just responded back. Yeah, I can use a piece of ass.
I know. Like that movie the other night. This makes me not want to not go back to work for another month just to spite them. You won't until you put yourself out into the real world. Your post will turn decent women away. I got a response from women for that post. Dig down inside, right from wrong. I can't believe that she busted out the right from wrong thing over something as innocuous as that. Fuck you. And I was diplomatic about it and said, look, I don't want to fight. I'm not like that. I'm not like this person, but I don't like your tone right now. But I mean, if she does it again, I'm going to tell her to straight up shut the fuck up and stop nagging. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of people trying to step in and try to control my life. I'll always invite wisdom from people older than me and advice, but you don't try to control me. It's like when I was out on the road with my friend the other night and his girlfriend, in the back seat, trying to control him passive aggressively, from the back seat. And he's like zigzagging into the opposite lane, while he's raging against everything. He says, here's the bottom line. I'm going to do what the fuck I'm going to do. And he says, look, maybe you two should have this conversation in private. He says, no, God damn it. We're going to have it right now. And I'm like, okay, go ahead. And it's, I see what he means now. Women wear you down. I don't want to meet a young woman. I don't want to meet a woman, period. And I haven't basically ever. Okay. I know that's hard to believe, but even the Bible, says that, blessed is he who has no need for that. And I have no need for that.
Where's that at? Where's that at?
I don't know. Ask Zach. Ask Zach.
That's when I think St. Paul or something said that.
I don't care. It's enough to me to have my friends back. And I finally found an old friend, reconnected with an old friend who didn't get all, rearranged from starting a family or whatever. He's older than me, and he's never started a family, which I thought, because the day he came and found me, I was passed out in this house, and so I probably would have died if he hadn't come that day. But the point is that for something as innocuous as like coming back to life and singing the same night when I thought, I was developing narcolepsy or something, I mean, that's pretty extraordinary, and I've felt good ever since. So, yeah, you're way out of line on this one, family member. I'm sorry if you live in a gated community where, you know, Neighborhood Watch reports on all your extended family, you know, and all your connections, but you're way off base on this one, and I will go back when I am good and goddamn ready, which may be 2 weeks from now, or maybe 2 months from now. I don't know yet. I've got a to-do list, and I'm working through it as doggedly as I can with all the, you know, policies and red tape in place that our generation has to suffer through that yours didn't to make your way. So, you know, there it is.
Yeah.
I like how she threw your mom in there, though. That was the worst thing I
What
thought.
would your
Yeah, that's
mother
pretty
think?
fucked up.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
would your mother think?
Right.
You know, that is total control mechanism.
That's really fucked up. You should have told her to shove it up her ass.
And like I said, I mean, if it happens again, I will. If it happens again, I will. She's been very helpful, but she's not going to hold things over me to get me to comply. That is not going to happen. I'm going to put myself on a firm as fuck deadline and try to finish Esper in a week or two while I'm getting the car fixed, while I'm getting some home repairs done, this and that, and hopefully getting back, you know, placing my feet back into a, you know, a slow transition back into the workforce. But I mean, I'm going to try to do that whole Bukowski wrote post office in a week out of fear type. I want to get into that headspace because now I really am alone. And so, yeah, we'll see. It'll be ugly. It'll be probably a rough draft, but I want to do it while I still can, while I still have the opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you, excuse me, if you have the money to, you could like either check into like a hotel or an Airbnb for a week or a couple of days to get as much writing done then as possible.
I might do that.
Like this.
I may do that. I may, you know, stop to feed the cats, and then go back. Yeah, I might do something like that.
You get a lot of people stopping by your house or something? Because, I mean, I thought you were alone in your house. Why would you need to rent a place?
It's a thing to get out of the home space and get into a temporary space where you are not nagged by the what's the word? The usual, the
Right.
familiar.
Yeah. Plus,
Right.
Change of scenery.
Yes.
Yeah. Plus, you know, you're investing money into the place, so you know you feel the need to get the work done.
Yeah. And so, like Stephen King, when he had a new office put in, and he found that he couldn't write in all the opulence, and so he went back to writing in a little space in the crawl space under the stairs at a typewriter. He couldn't work in all that in this big library studio type thing, you know. I don't know. It is a change of scenery type thing, I guess. Yeah.
So who was this relative now? No.
I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to throw them under the bus that bad.
Was it your sister wife?
Sister wife. Look,
yeah, Jeremy's a Mormon now.
Look, I know that the Chris Chan thing just blew up, but incest is not as common in the South as you think. I'm sorry.
No, that's it. That's not what sister wife is. It's when you're like when you have multiple wives and like that's what the wives call each other.
You know, the more I think about it, the more I think I might just be asexual. I don't usually go for these other, you know, descriptors or whatever. But I mean, I think asexual does not have a liberal stigma because most of them are sex crazed and think that sex defines them. And I think that I just think that I don't. Sex is not a thing, you know. In not even, you know, auto anymore. It's just not. So I think maybe I'm asexual. Maybe I aged into asexuality. I don't know. I feel good about it though.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, regardless of where you are. I mean, if you really don't want to get in a relationship, you definitely shouldn't let family members browbeat you into getting into one.
Yeah,
like,
I never said a word about trying to attract a mate. What? I never said a word about that. That's her projecting or something.
I mean, did they ever say this to you?
Christian woman to, you know.
I mean, did they ever like give you that lecture before your mother passed and your dad had to go into a home?
Once, but it wasn't so manipulative. It was just gentle. You know, you might meet a woman, this, that, you know, and you know, you don't even have to have sex. You just be friends. And I'm just like, none of this appeals to me. Not the friends, not the sex, nothing. I don't want any of it, you know? And I see every relationship that I see someone in, they're horrible for each other, and they spend more time fighting and competing with each other and on different wavelengths than anything actually like relationships are supposed to be. And so I don't see that. You know, I got a few animals, I'm good. And you know,
I don't know if you want to throw that in there. That's
No, he's not going to pull a Shane Dawson on any of his cats.
I meant that in a Kerouac, Big Sur kind of, look, lady, I just want to go home and die with my cat type of, that kind of animal love.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like, you know, since your mom and dad aren't really in the picture anymore, that she's like trying to step in and take the role when, you know, you're almost 40. You don't need a parent.
Yeah. I know, and that's the thing. I'm starting to learn.
Yeah, I mean, you look like 50 too, right? So I mean,
I look 50.
You look like shit.
How do I look 50?
No, you don't. You look around.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was told I looked like 29 still, where like I haven't been in, you know, all these age, you know, like life aging, you know, soul sucking, you know, relationships. That's somebody told me that the other day.
It's just because you can't grow a beard.
Well, yes, I can grow a beard.
It sounds like it's just one of your drug addict friends talking shit. Is really what it sounds like.
Well, that might not be too far off the mark, but anyway.
And it's also probably because you look like you still got most of your hair. So.
Yeah,
I do, but I can grow a beard if I want to. I just prefer to shave. I never liked beards either.
Fascinating.
Yes. Hmm. So are we good with all this like couch therapy? So tell me about your mother type of shit.
No, I mean, I think that's something you needed to vent about because the way she was bugging you while we were trying to watch the movies was, you know, was pretty fucked up.
So, what movies were you gentlemen watching? And maybe
you know, they were very timely and very accurate to what I was going through at that exact moment. First up,
like Lars and the Real Girl. Is that what it was?
Factotum with Matt Dillon as Henry Chinaski.
Was that any good?
Well, yeah,
I liked it.
I liked it better than the second offering, which was also about Henry Chinaski, Charles Bukowski's fictional counterpart. You know,
Barf. Yeah, but with Mickey Rourke, Bukowski wrote that one himself.
So you're saying Factotum is better than Barfly?
Yes. Have you seen it?
I have seen Barfly. I like that.
Yeah, I would say I would say I like Barfly a little bit more, if anything, because it felt a little truer. It was a lot grimier. Mickey Rourke looked a lot more like I would expect Chinaski to look. Like at the beginning, Chinaski gets in a bar fight, and he spends the whole movie with like his knuckles bruised up, his lip split, and a black eye.
Yeah, and then it opens with him getting in a fight, and it closes with him getting in a fight. He's gotten nowhere by the end of the movie. I think is what I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Sort of. I mean, he's gotten his book, one of his stories published, and that was kind of in Factotum too. So they have similar arcs.
I see. Okay, but so you think that Rourke was a better Chinaski or whatever Bukowski's character, essentially?
I think so, personally.
I think that Matt Dillon was too cool to play somebody like Chinaski. But
yeah, he's way too good looking.
Yeah.
But Matt Dillon is badass inherently, no matter what role he does. So I prefer Factotum. I guess I preferred Factotum. It was easier on the eyes or whatever. I don't know. But Barfly, it was too much like Bukowski. The hunched over, haggardly looking, you know, just lilting flower.
Yeah, he does have that kind of like Hepcat voice that Bukowski occasionally did.
Yeah.
And
I heard somebody say funky old guy.
I realized the more I heard Rourke impersonate that, how much I hated it with Bukowski. and another thing is that the scene where he has to get now hang on, shut up, Ben, don't let me get this out, okay?
Yeah, Ben, shut up.
When he gets the female publisher who has that big house and she's not married, I found that really hard to believe. Anyway,
I don't find that hard to believe.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, sorry, I do.
I mean, I do think that like Bukowski's
the
kind of
patriarchy.
no, I think that Bukowski like occasionally exaggerated like how well he did with women to like play the macho man a bit more, but you know, I could buy that like a rich publisher would jump in bed with a Skid Row writer. You know, one because you know, oh, he's the bad boy, he's dangerous, and oh, his poems are so good, he's got a beautiful soul, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I can't believe that in 20. Yeah, but in modern day standards, I can't believe anybody would jump anybody's bones over poetry.
You'd be surprised.
yeah.
I hated the scene where he got the girl who wrote him that big ass check. At the time, it was what, 10,000?
That was like $500, I think.
Okay, 500, but that went a long way back in where it was set.
Yeah, and he's like at the end, he's spending like the whole thing at the bar on everyone else.
Yeah, and that's what you should do with a windfall like that, I guess, right? I mean, if but for him to her to have to go in there and cash it for him, I just that's just basic, you know, male.
I mean, he didn't. He didn't have a.
Though. I mean, I'm
sure a lot of people back then didn't have bank accounts.
Yeah.
Especially someone as poor as Bukowski.
Maybe because it was new then. I don't know, but I mean, everybody I know has one now. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I mean it's definitely not the case, right? I mean, you know.
No, everybody I know has one. I don't know.
I know, but I'm just saying, back in the day, that was not the case.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know a couple people who don't have bank accounts.
Well.
I mean, a lot of times, back in the day, you had to go to like maybe even I think your bar sometimes would even cash your checks or something.
Yeah, like at the beginning of towards the beginning of Barfly, he like finds he has an income refund and just cashes it at the bar to get you drunk.
Yeah,
fair enough, but the bottom line is he leeched off women and still, you know, would drop them like a used tissue. And
have you read any of Bukowski's books?
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I'm saying.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I can see like not liking that aspect about him. Like he was what they call, you know, problematic.
As misogynist as I am to not like it, you know. I mean, I'm saying that was a legitimate.
I mean, I don't think I would like to have ever like spent any time in a room with the man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, but he smelled really bad.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That girl that stayed with him, even until he died, you know, for him to just kick her right there on the couch in the middle of filming that in that documentary, and she stayed with him until his death. And it wasn't to laugh at him either. It was because she was stronger than him, and he was really ungrateful in many ways.
Complicated individual with relationships with complicated, ugly individuals. Yeah,
I definitely could relate to the scene because I was having the argument parallel to the movie watching experience when Matt Dillon, in Factotum, was about to give his pops a corollary. They were giving him lunch, you know, and the mom was at the sink just kind of watching, and the dad was like, how are you going to support yourself? You know, when you going to settle down and get a steady job? And he's like, he says, are you going to drink your whole life? He says, well, you know, when you don't have any money, that's when you need it the most. And he says, the guy was the blood
that's just losing his shit at him.
And then he punctuates it with, you know what I could really use right now? A beer and a piece of ass. And then they throw him out. I could really identify with the rebellion part of it then, you know. And I've never been much, I've been more of a soft rebel, you know, listen to the music.
Soft rebel.
Well, yeah. If you'll let me explain, I never
think it's a great term.
I never went out of my way to give like a big middle finger, go out of my way to give a big middle finger to, you know, people that, you know, my music rebelled against or whatever. I just sang the lyrics or whatever. That's what I consider a soft rebel. So
I'm writing that down. Soft rebel.
I mean, like you don't go out of your way. You just like quietly just don't do what they tell you.
Yeah, fuck you. I won't do what you. Fuck you. Tell me. I won't do what you tell me. Yeah. And by the way, Rage Against the Machine definitely does what you tell them now. Fucking pussies.
What?
Nothing. I'm not even going to.
I mean, there was it was an interesting thing. They made a documentary about Woodstock '99, and I actually think I sent you an article right up about that. It was like called "Nu Metal and Twilight are the only true outsider arts nowadays."
I remember that. I didn't get a chance to read it. If you'll send me the link again, I will this time.
But what he talked about in it is that the documentary about Woodstock '99, they went hard to shit on the nu metal acts like Limp Bizkit, and talk about how there were like rapes and fights in the crowds and shit, but went out of their way to whitewash that the same thing happened when Rage Against the Machine was playing there. And there's a funny part in that article where he talks about how when he had to listen to Moby talk about progressive hip hop, he felt his soul die.
Yeah, listening to that guy talk at all makes your soul die.
Yeah, Moby is just like
anything. Why would you listen to Moby for anything?
Moby is like Moby is just like the epitome of the soy jack nice guy. Yeah, it's like I remember he had this big controversy where he talked about dating. I can't remember who it was. It was Fiona Apple or some other female indie singer, and she just had to come out and say that never happened.
I'm not surprised.
Granted, I don't know if any woman would admit to sleeping with Moby.
Yeah,
I mean they'd probably admit to sleeping with their own dad first.
I'll bet that made her feel like a criminal.
But let's see.
Dude, Right the Hand is going all in on another flat earther on YouTube. I love that. I love that guy, man. I love that guy, man. He does not care. He will tell people trying to show him a complex math problem, all you're showing me is a phone. I love that kind of, what's the word? Not flamboyance. What's the term for that? No, don't say stupidity or retardation. What's the term for that?
Idiosyncrasy?
No, it's something like raw and hate and angry.
I mean, I don't know what to call it. I mean, like screaming, like you're not showing me anything. You just like there's nothing there. That's just a piece of paper. That's just the phone screen. It's just like I can only call that bad faith.
But it's like that kind of fuck you.
He's a lol cow. Like he's the kind of guy who like would challenge a female MMA fighter because men are stronger than women and get his shit pushed in.
Yeah, but you know what? He didn't try to make excuses. He said, "Yeah, she beat me up," but he didn't. He followed through on it. Is the point?
Well, he followed through on it, but what the fuck was he trying to do? What did he do? It's just like, oh, look at me. I drove this knife through my hand. Why? Why'd you do it?
He said a thing, and he was willing to embarrass himself in the cause. And I mean, he didn't make excuses. That's pretty.
I'm gonna subject myself to cock and ball torture. See this video on the internet? I did it. See?
You know what? That kind of sounds compelling.
We were just getting through talking about how you're not interested in any of that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, every now and then, there's like I have an out of body experience. Is all.
I think you just need a older woman in high heels to step on your nuts.
Well, that happened.
But, all of Jeremy Robert Johnson's work is but now back in print.
Oh, Even Skullcrack City.
Yep, Skullcrack City in the river, and he made he has a new book called I think it's called All the Wrong Ideas, which is the collection of the of all the stories that didn't get put into Entropy and Bloom, as well as Extinction Journals.
Oh, that is a sweet cover. I'll say that.
Yeah, the new Skullcrack City
All the Wrong Ideas
cover's pretty awesome, and All the Wrong Ideas is pretty cool too. You want to put it up?
I did.
Yep. I picked it up on Kindle a little bit ago.
How about that? Yeah. The past coming back to do much more than haunt us.
Let's see the Skullcrack City cover.
These are the moments where we cross into madness, never to return. This is what happens when we devote ourselves wholeheartedly to acting out all the wrong ideas. There's the Outer Limits type opening.
Very nice.
What are we doing again?
I want to see the Skullcrack City cover.
Have you read it?
Yeah.
I have not. I want to read it.
Why did so many people miss the boat with that book, man? I'm telling you, it's
I've got that.
Well, it was out of print for a while.
Well, that's true, but I'm telling you, I thought it was going to be a movie. It was so good. It was like it may have been one of the few Bizarro masterpieces. I mean, the time was put into it. Like Carlton can put them out in can finish one in a weekend.
Well, he did get one of his short stories get made into a short films. I think it was called When Cicera Stirs or something like that.
Yeah, that was from We Live Inside You, I think. Right?
Yeah, I think that was where it was originally from, but now it's in Entropy and Bloom.
We Live Inside You is my favorite Johnson collection. Cathedral Mother was like the best short in there about this mother who's environmentalist and kind of like a reluctant mother, right? A little bit. And she's environmentalist, and somebody sends her weird messages about some mushroom. Is that it?
I haven't read We Live Inside You. I've read Angel Dust Apocalypse, but I missed We Live Inside You. That was one I missed before it went out of print. But I have, Entropy and Bloom and All the Wrong Ideas, so I'll be able to read all the stories now.
Yeah, I've read We Live Inside You. I think that's the only thing I've read by him.
The character Buddy in Skullcrack City is from another work, maybe Angel Dust Apocalypse or something. But, there are legitimate fuck yeah moments in this book where it's like you actually root for characters because they save the day, albeit temporarily. I mean, legitimately, it's like it has that momentum to the plot, and you can't find that in a lot of Bizarro, where it's real.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if The Loop ends up being a movie. That one's a lot more accessible, and it is very cinematic in a lot of ways.
I got back on a Jack Kerouac kick in the last day or two, because it's like now I'm getting older and I see, all the way the way my friends roll with the punches. Some are better at it. Some do it horribly, but they do it horribly in a remarkably zen kind of way. And you want that to rub off on you a little bit for when things go wrong for you, but somehow it's always worse. I could just really appreciate Kerouac's headspace, even though, I would not be a good logger or, whatever. But getting back into that headspace might help me with my, language, which has fragmented when I try to write so bad. I tried to be so plot-based for so long that it's like I lost all that flowery stuff that I used to write that I never even got around to publishing, and now I don't even know where half of it is.
That reminds me, I do need to show that my short story follow-up to Elaine, I'm a Marionette, is on Amazon now. I'd recommend only really getting it if you have Kindle Unlimited. Otherwise, wait for the Godless version to come out tomorrow.
Did you ever?
The Godless version is cheaper and has bonus poems. Yes, I did. That was the first. I did that right when you pointed it out.
I'm looking and I don't Okay, hang on. Okay.
Yeah, I'll get it off Godless.
Yeah, it's cheaper on Godless. Plus, it has 3 bonus poems. The Godless edition.
17 pages.
Yeah, I said it was a short story.
Okay.
Like I said, it'll be cheaper on Godless, and it'll have 3 bonus poems.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Kindle version is more for people to find on Kindle Unlimited.
So it's got poems in it, Jeremy.
Yes. Yeah, I know you hate that, and I love that you hate that. Your tears over me writing poetry give me joy, and I use them to jerk off with.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So my tears are a good lubricant. I'm glad I could do that. That means you have to think of me before you jack off. So there you go.
Well, you know that I always do, baby.
I have to lubricate it for you. It sounds like.
Absolutely. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, did you know Cameron Pierce is coming out with a new book? Well, I'm like 99% sure it's Cameron Pierce. It's called Confessions of a SoundCloud Rapper, but it's under the name Young Stepdad. But like I'm 99% sure it's him because when I went back in his Facebook because I recognized the name, yeah, he put out that he was working on a book with that exact same title.
Well, did you just step all over his?
I mean, I don't think so. It took me like 5 minutes of investigating to find that out.
Okay, is that only for sale on Big Cartel or something? Or
well, it's for pre-sale. It's not set to come out until September, I think. Maybe
pre-sale where?
It's at 1111 Press.
Yeah, it'd be great to read some Cameron again. 1111press.com is free courtesy of GoDaddy.com. Get this domain. Okay. Well.
I don't. Did the website expire? I'm pretty sure.
Is it 1111 the numbers?
11 and well, go to Google and like 1111 as if it's like the time with a colon between the 11s.
It looks interesting. Is it showing? Okay.
Yeah, I think you have to go to like books to find it. I know that Sam Pink's put out a few books through them.
Oh, really? New books?
Yeah, a couple of reprints plus a newer one, I think.
Bad Luck Lullaby by Cameron Pierce. So, like really short poetry.
Well, that's another book, but I think there's the other book is coming out sooner.
All right, here it is: Secret Diary of a SoundCloud.
Yeah, rapper. Secret Diary of a SoundCloud Rapper.
Wow, that's pretty good cover.
Yeah. That could be fascinating, or it could be really boring. I never got into the. I mean, give or take, maybe Osborne and Kelby Losack. I never got into the SoundCloud rap artist thing, but when Losack and Osborne remix it into their literature, it's good. But
yeah, it'll be interesting to see the direction that Cameron Pierce has gone in since he stepped back from publishing. I do know that he was supposed to publish a short story collection a while back. I think he was supposed to self-publish it, but nothing ever came of it. So I don't know if that Bad Luck Lullaby is going to be like what it's going to be or what.
Human Tetris. It's a good title.
So is that a novel or a short story collection?
Secret Diary of a SoundCloud Rapper.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a novel.
Okay.
A.S. Coomer is a name that sounds familiar. I don't know.
Yeah, he's put out a few things. I know that I'm pretty sure like he put out a book through Lego Man when they were around. Let's see. Oh, as speaking of Sam Pink, apparently like what happened is he's having a drama with a guy who's releasing a book through a mainstream press called Fuckboy. Apparently, like the guy wrote to him and basically said that his book was heavily inspired by Sam Pink's work, and apparently was trying to get like Sam Pink's blessing for it, but I guess he straight up copied a lot of things that Sam Pink did in his book, in his books. So Sam Pink wrote a big thing on neutral spaces about the whole drama.
Really?
Apparently, like what most annoyed him is that the book itself apparently isn't very good. The guy apparently is like went to an Ivy League school and is having a book published through a big five, and the book is just filled with like rapper slang.
Yeah, it sounds pretty pathetic. It sounds like something I would hate.
Yeah. See if you can find it. Fuckboy is spelled Fuccboi, and the first name of the guy is Sean, I think.
Let people be who they are. Sam Pink by Leah Schnellbach. No, that's not it. Neutral spaces, you said.
Yeah. He's got an article on there called "Fuck Boy," which is just fuck, comma boy.
Okay. This was Sam Pink that wrote this.
Yeah.
Yeah, my interest is piqued. There's actually authors beefing with each other. That so rarely happens.
Well,
most of the time they're all, "How dare you use the quorum, and you must pre-submit all the questions before the interview promptly." It's fucking.
It's I mean, it's even more of a thing because it's Sam Pink, who's
really chill.
Yeah, chill. He's an indie writer who's put out through small presses and shit, and this guy versus this guy who went to Ivy League schools who is getting put out through one of the big five.
Okay, well, okay, let's try blog.
I think it might be, right there.
Yeah. Fuck, boy.
It's a pretty long article, so I don't know if we can go through the whole thing.
Maybe cherry pick a passage or two. The guy sold Fuckboy for $200K to this big publisher.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fuckboy is a complete ripoff of my style. This isn't even a debate. To be fair, Sam Pink's style is not hard to rip off. I mean, he may make it seem easier than it is, but to emulate that voice that Sam Pink uses, I mean, it's been done before. It has been emulated before, is what I mean. So, I mean, even in reviews, I have emulated that voice in order to try to bolster my opinion of one of his books. I mean, I don't know. He puts it through a blender, but it's not hard to emulate Sam Pink's style.
Well, the guy apparently emailed him and basically said that's what he was doing.
Hey, dude, I got some good news and bad news. I mean, what? I don't know. The good news is I just got 200,000 for my first novel, but the bad news is that I just completely bit off all your style to get it, and I'm sure, that the money thing probably. I don't think Sam Pink would care if it wasn't the money, right?
I think it's more of the fact that he really, really, really didn't like the book, and he was annoyed that the guy was trying to present himself as like this indie guy when he, like I said, went to Ivy League schools and was being published through a big five publisher.
I'm not a dramatic person, and have always focused on work as the sole reason for my involvement in this culture. I say this to preempt the most common response, which is, ugh, drama. Yeah, I know, man. Authors are so fucking lame with that. That's why they can't sell books, because they're not willing to engage in drama. Except for the backhanded shade throwing from behind community lines. Or even better, people commenting on how they don't care, thus involving themselves in it, which is fine. I can't control responses, but I can say, ask yourself if I seem like a person attracted to drama or have a record of it, because I don't. But the writing world is a very passive place, too passive, which is why it leads to so many problems for people. The things that need to be said go unsaid, and everyone just moves along. That is so fucking true. Waiting in line for their turn, hoping not to jeopardize their turn. They hold everything in and vibrate with miserable energy. I love that line. That is so true. All of y'all are so miserable. Unable to just rid them, not you guys, but I mean, unable to just rid themselves of it normally. Why don't writers use catharsis like this more? This is not necessarily drama. This could be catharsis to me. This is also an element of the indie world people forget. It's self-regulating. Yeah. Well, so far I agree with everything you said, which is why I'm writing this. Now my entire work stolen from me in the form of Sean Conroe's forthcoming book, Fuckboy, which he sold for $200,000. Now, if he hates this book so much, yet it reminds him of him, I don't know. I mean, just that's one thing to think about. I mean,
there's a passage. Do a Control F for cancel, and you can probably find a passage from it.
Control F cancel?
Yeah. You don't know Control F? That's how you find stuff.
Where's cancel? Where's the cancel button?
No, type cancel in the search.
How do I do that when I've got two fingers over here?
No, you just press it Control F once.
Oh, right there.
Control plus F and then type cancel in the box that appears.
Yeah, that's a passage from it right there in the
I know you have your ideas about me, and maybe they're correct. Maybe I am a sus hetero bro who's been subtly abusive and deserves to be canceled for my basic ways. That is such a simp line. I know. I've read enough Sam Pink to know that he would never write something like that, right?
Yeah, that's why Sam Pink hates the book. He writes shit like that.
Cool. Okay. Well,
yeah, that's just like, it's like one of those things where Big Five publishers will publish, urban slang like 18 years after it was actually relevant. I mean, that's kind of what
he talks about. That exact same thing in here about you picture some white woman, thinking it's the hot new thing to have like this kind of slang in a book when it's like 10 years out of date.
Yeah, I'm loving this article. I mean, this is like filling time so well, and it's something I can finally sink my teeth into instead of just, hey, buy this book. I wish more of you fuckers out there would resort to this. Sling some mud in somebody's direction and then come on here, and sort it out. I'm telling you, I've seen it done in way less effective communities. But anyway, I digress. Yeah. Damn, dog, that's some shit. There are numerous lines like this in the book, some weird blend of sitcom language with online slang bullshit.
Yeah, soy bands.
He is so right. Or, this time it'll be different, right? When talking to Bay, is it Bay?
Bay.
Bite Lip, R. Kelly starts playing in the background. But I can't understand how this isn't obvious. The fake slang from an Ivy League kid. Is he Ivy League? Is that confirmed?
Yeah, I've been saying that.
Okay, so he laid in a coffin and masturbated for a bunch of Republicans. That's how he got it published.
Apparently. He does throw some shade. Sam Pink does throw some shade at Gian of Tyrant here as well.
Now, who is that? Tyrant Books?
You don't know about Tyrant Books? They published Scott McClanahan and
but
Murray Calloway.
I don't know who Gian.
Oh, he was the guy who ran it before he passed away. I think he passed away earlier this year.
Oh, man. But by the way, Scott McClanahan is the funniest guest I have ever had. He made it all seem so effortless, and he made me just throw all my notes away. He was so funny. I've never met such a funny human being. I don't know how he did it, but
yeah, he seems like a great guy.
Yeah, this form of masculinity, where you're basically a neurotic wimp, is the favored kind of big publishers and culture in general now. I love that.
Well, he's not wrong.
Sam Pink is based.
Oh, he's always been based as fuck.
That's awesome. Finally, there's one that's not a simp for this cancel culture, namby-pamby, patriarchy, all this bullshit. There's this idea that being actually masculine means you're some monster. He is so right. And I'm not saying I'm masculine, but I'm just saying
I'm not saying that either.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying that.
But to say that masculinity is toxic, is another form of bullshit. Damn, this guy is hitting every ball out of the park. But the opposite is true. Weasley simps like Conroe are always a bigger danger. The actual rapists. In fact, he mentions rape a few times in the book, but nah, I'm just playing. I love this article, man. The book is just not readable. There's nothing to it. It's a mix-up of so many ideas. This is the most Sam Pink's ever said about anything, even in his own book.
Yeah, it looks like it's longer than some of his books,
including the recently popular thing of doing like little book reports in the book. Damn, yo, I was reading some shit about hunter-gatherers, and man, that shit cray. This is merit to the book.
I want to put a gun in my mouth.
Book that he's talking about, that quote you're talking about there?
I think so. Obviously, we can't check it; it's not out yet. But the guy sent Sam Pink an early draft.
Who's he talking about?
No, I'm saying is that line about that so cray or whatever. I was wondering if that was actually in the book. So
no, it's an exam. It's an alliteration. It's an example of what people say. It's done long. It's been done long enough that you can generalize and people will get.
Okay, I thought he was actually quoting the book.
No, that's the kind of thing like, science bros, like the people who would listen to a Neil deGrasse Tyson podcast and think that suddenly they're as smart as him, and write it into their. I mean,
I'm fine with people talking about, what books they read, in a book they're writing, but it's just like, oh, hunter-gatherer is so cray. What the fuck? You put a gun in your mouth, God damn it.
Yeah. That is the first time I ever used the word cray for anything.
Has anyone ever said cray unironically?
I don't even call crustaceans cray. Okay? I mean, culture. God forbid I just enjoy an author's energy and have my own thoughts. I got to get the podcast condensation of it. Ouch. This Wikipedia level analysis adding substance, the dreaded tidbit. Well, I mean, Wikipedia is the first thing that pops up in most search results, to be fair. So, I mean, but a book I wrote, Ron Tell, which is one of my more, preferred of his, is one of the books he quotes. He quotes a few lines and analyzes them, giving me a clear window into his bogus thinking. So he takes time out from the book to talk about Ron Tell.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like Ron Tell. I thought that was good.
I haven't read that one yet.
No, it's good.
I'm one of those. Yeah, I know. It's really funny when it's like he turns a chapter into like riffing on a guy going in to buy soap and finding it on half sale, a discounted sale, and he's texting his net roommate at home, dude, soap is half off. And he's like, and the guy texts him back, who gives a shit? You remember that? Okay, maybe
I don't, but it's been like a decade since I've read it.
That was a really great book, though.
Yes.
I'm one of those whatever it means to you type people, but can say he might have picked the only thing it wasn't about. The thing Ron Tell really is about for him, an idea he incorporated, is the adventure or odyssey. We talked about this on his podcast. These Ivy League kids are sharp as fuck. It's even in the blurb Gian provided for the book. Anyway, shit was going nowhere with addressing it. So I mentioned to Sean that we should do his podcast again to address. Sam Pink actually did a podcast, and it's with the dude he hates. Damn it.
Well, he's done a few podcasts. I know he was on other people.
Sam Pink, I don't have $200,000, but
he's got 250.
I'm sure we can. Find a way to get a hold of Sam Pink and see if he wants to come on at some point.
Say whatever the fuck you want. And, yeah, believe me, I've said much worse. Whatever you say, I've said much, much worse. So it's all good, man. You could just stay for 15 to 30 minutes if you want. Yeah. If you want to put a price tag on it even, I mean, let's talk. If you're out there, I'm sure this will find its way back to you somehow. Fuckboy is sterile. No, wait. I mean, it's like we still got an hour before Regina pops in, so we might as well, milk this for all it's worth, right? Just a little bit longer. Anyway, shit was. But then he said he'd do it, but then asked why I would want to tear it all down, because something worthwhile and unique can be torn down by simply exposing it. He started claiming his book would be a good thing for all of us. This kind of language always scares me. It's the evil force behind community too, meaning something required of you. That
he's not wrong there.
Yeah, man.
People will hide some insidious shit behind things like the words community.
I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't good for me to do, but I mean, I don't know I'd ever get on an airplane, 2 or 3 airplanes again for a community of people that I only know through the internet. I don't think I'd ever do that again. Even though I had a good time at the time and it was good for me, I don't think I'd ever do that again. That's asking too much of somebody, you know, unless the convention thing, part of it. Yeah, sure. But I mean, anyway, where was I?
Like, I mean, like the long and short of that is they were going to do a podcast together, and I guess he waited to until the last possible minute to contact Sam Pink about it, where Pink wanted to be able to like get together notes and be able to like talk about it in a prepared manner, but the guy wanted to catch him off guard and do it off the cuff. So and he basically said, "Oh, well, I also have to crash at your place since I'm driving across the country." And Sam Pink, of course, has said no.
Oh, ouch! The guy who just got a $200,000 advance or something is going to say, "By the way, can I crash at your place, dude?" And after just getting a book deal that you've never had, and that I owe to you. Ouch!
It's like a good metaphor for the whole thing, that this rich Ivy League asshole leeching off an indie author who's had to work his whole life.
If that's how this is, that's cringier than anything I've ever done. That is
this way cringier than any shit you've done.
You want the writing that you cannot reasonably change a system by doing exactly what you hate about it. And this is the most classic example in why I'm writing this in the first place. I have no other option. I don't have an agent or major publisher. All I have is my reputation and my work. He responded with this. You want the writing that's bombed down people's throats by big fives to stay being the same sterile garbage? At a time like this when media is fucked, no one is able to say shit, because that's what'll keep happening. Fuckboy is sterile garbage, good sir. It's weak-willed. And yeah, the media is fucked and people can't say shit, so why can't I say shit about it? This is part of his thinking, this weaselly doublespeak. Let me do the shitty thing to prevent the shitty thing. Bro, I don't need anyone's help. I just don't need the stress either. I want to be left alone to do my thing. Fuck the writing community. I can't stress enough how conniving he is with his thinking and planning. The man really is a weasel mastermind in the art of snatching the crumb. All this wild shit that's gone down with my book, none of which I planned or could have predicted, and honestly just feels terrible for me. What a crazy random thing. And if you feel terrible, why go through with it? Well, obviously, it's obvious why I won't. I'm getting tired of quoting the guy that's like the bad guy, but let's see if I can.
He sounds like a real dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're tripping, bro.
Damn, this shit whack, yo.
I said to her, all your early books, Person, Rontel, Witch Piss, are masterpieces and probably the biggest influence on all writing online writing today. This is another attempt at stalling. His editor at Little Brown and his agent both started following me on social media and even bought books, but these people don't fuck with me. They're about protecting their assets. Paying Sean that kind of money for his first book is a sign they're going to try to pass him off as next wonderkind or whatever. Kind of like how the Melvins and Mudhoney were around, I'm guessing before Kurt Cobain, but Kurt Cobain got poster boy status, right?
Yeah, and to be fair, at least Kurt Cobain was open about the fact that, these other bands like, the Butthole Surfers and the Meat Puppets, came before him.
An accident, a nightmare. Why would you feel horrible about this? I would be happy. But that's his game, trying to make it seem like an accident with him as the victim. You're tripping, bro. How are you going to read 10 pages of a thing and say you created it? That's insane. I couldn't do your voice if I tried. Because my voice isn't yours. Why would I need your blessing? I wanted it. Because respect. Because working within the confines of a style you are the master of. He's asking, who are you inspired by? And I would like to know who Sam Pink is influenced by, because that is an enigma to me. So
I like this.
I
I
think-
like that line where he's like, "Oh, you had it up there. Something about you need to respect, or why don't you respect me and my grind?"
Yeah. Where I'm from, what I went through to get where I'm at. So he's now saying I didn't influence him, and that's his. I don't need to. Well, yeah, you probably shouldn't quote Sam Pink if it didn't have some sort of formative.
It's like, oh, what I had to go through. You went to an Ivy League school. You're very likely rich. You very likely grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth. Shut the hell up.
He's probably the roommate of the publisher.
I wouldn't be surprised. Or it's like his dad was the publisher.
He's right. I don't respect him. I don't give two fucks where he's from. You take what's mine and you're going to get smacked. I like it. This is turning into a wrestling promo. That's again, this is all terribly bad. And I know Sam Pink is from Chicago, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I think he's since moved to Florida, but yeah, that's where he's originally from.
Well, Florida's pretty badass too, yeah. I'm not joking either. Again, this is all terribly bad faith bullshit. As I attempted to confront him about it, I told him we need to do a podcast where Sam Pink told somebody they needed to do a podcast. I'm jealous. Just for my own sanity and to not just release a review like this unprovoked for honor. He said he was driving across country. There's that. Got that fuck boy check, boy. And we could do it in person in my town. I said, sure, just let me know. He gave me a window of when he thought, and sure enough, that window passed. So on the last day, I texted him to see what was up, and he said, whoa, it must be fate because he's nearby. So he was going to completely ignore it, like he has been, and like his agent has been, and like everyone has been. And all angry at this point, he said he'd be there in 2 hours. I said, no, I told you I needed a heads up to get my notes ready and find a third-party recorder, which is smart. Yeah. Obviously, somebody who's going to not edit it down later to benefit one or the other. Yeah. I don't trust him. He recorded my friend Dope Boy without him knowing when they were first going to do a podcast. Oh, wow. He said the only way he'd agree was doing it in a couple hours with him recording, and he had to crash at my place.
Oh no, I've got $200K. I can't and probably a lot of daddy's money too. I can't possibly pay for an Airbnb or a hotel.
You never hold someone's ass to the fire and say, either if we're not going to do this if you don't let me stay at your place. You humbly ask them. You say, look, you explain the situation. You say, look, dude, look, this is the situation, and this would really help me. You know, I'll help you take out the garbage or whatever, do your dishes, whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, by this point, isn't it already pretty well established that Pink doesn't even like this guy?
No,
well, yeah, but
the guy's not doing anything in good faith to, change his mind,
Well, I'm saying though, like, I mean, it's already been made perfectly clear by Pink to this guy that he doesn't like him, right?
You don't ever tell somebody, look, I'm not even going to talk to you if you don't let me stay at your home.
No, my point is this, right? The guy, I mean, Pink's already made it clear to this guy he doesn't even like the guy, right?
Well, I mean, the guy is, if that's the case, the guy could just say straight up, no, I'm not doing that, but he's not. He's playing this stupid game of like, oh, you have to meet these demands in order for me to do this podcast so we can talk about this publicly. And so he can.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, why would you say I had to stay at your place if I know you don't like me? Right? Like,
because he knew he wouldn't say yes.
Oh,
to
he
that.
didn't want to do the podcast in the first place. Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay. This guy sounds like a psychic vampire, is what he sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh, straight up. Bro, this is some straight up gaslighting shit, yo.
Yeah. It's cray. Totally cray.
That's cray, bro.
Cray, man.
Kind of sus, not gonna lie.
I said no because even though he was trying to bluff his way out, and he did, I don't trust him and won't let him call any shots. Why would I trust him to record it? You know what? I just got a light bulb. What if we were the third-party recorder for this?
That if we were, I mean, that would be amazing, but it's probably not the case.
All right, look, I'll what's his name? Fuckboy.
His name's Sean something.
Sean, I'll give you the floor, man. We could hammer this out, Judge Judy style. However you want to play it. I mean, somebody can watch me edit it, down to a segment. I wouldn't cut anything out. I swear to God. Okay.
His name is Sean Thor Conroe.
What if we could be the? What if we could be? What if we could be the mediators here?
I mean, that would be amazing, but I don't know if
amazing, but it's a dream that will never happen.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna do that. I mean, we can always just bring Sam Pink on so he can.
The
whole entire publishing industry.
I'm okay with that. but hey, if you can clear it with Little Brown legal department, that you can come on here.
Yeah, it's Little Brown because it's his asshole.
Jeez.
There is the potential that we might be able to mediate this. I'm not on anyone's retainer, but
obviously,
I mean, Sam Pink might talk to us, but I have a lot of doubts that Sean is going to talk to us at all.
What if we did one week and the other the next,
or we could just trick Sean into coming on and ambush him with Sam Pink coming on.
Don't say that right now on.
I mean, that would be the obvious thing to do, which is why I don't think he would come on anyway.
You ruined it.
I mean, it's the obvious thing to do. It's like a 101.
That's what Tongasaw would have done, man. Oh God, I was thinking of that.
It's what H3 did to Crowder and with Sam Cedar.
Crowder raped his ass, please.
No, Crowder is a fucking
H3 fucking meth head.
Crowder is a closet case, and I hope he fucking dies in the hospital.
That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. I can understand if you said I hope H3 dies, but Crowder, I mean,
no, Crowder deserves to die in the hospital. He's a fucking asshole.
No,
I mean, I don't know anything about him other than he's not funny.
He's very not funny. He deserves to die just for his fucking jokes.
Well, you haven't
just
seen
not
you
funny.
obviously haven't seen.
Oh, look at me! I'm cross-dressing in the gym, and I'm just throwing weights around to get anyone's attention.
No, well, the funniest part was when he walked out at the end of the event with all the policemen standing guard. He says, "That was a bunch of bullshit," and all the cops look at him as he's walking off in drag. That was funny. You don't think so?
Well, I haven't seen everything he's done, but almost everything.
They looked at him like that because they realize he's a fucking retard.
He probably is.
Yeah, he's not funny.
But you know what is funny in a sad way is Owen Benjamin watching him burn his kids' dinosaur books.
Oh yeah, Owen Benjamin is just off the deep end.
Oh yeah.
It's just I hate. Doesn't he got on rants about how much he hates Jews or something like that?
Oh man,
to a degree. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen all this stuff.
That's a meme, dude. Yeah. I mean,
it's not a fucking meme.
It is.
It's just I just hate the Jews. Ironically,
do you honestly believe that Sam Hyde and these other people devote an area of their basement to Nazi propaganda? I mean,
Sam Hyde definitely hates Jews. He's very open about that.
Is it Sam Hyde a Jew?
No. He's just ugly.
All right, I don't care. Okay, the Jews can fend for themselves. Okay, I would never go out of my way to hurt one. But I mean,
don't talk about them like they're fucking rabbits or something.
I'm not talking about I'm talking about them like they're lions. How about that? Jesus, I worship a Jew. Come on.
It's true, but yeah, I mean, Owen Benjamin has gone off the deep end, but at least sometimes he is funny.
Oh yeah, he's funny because in the sense that watching a ape shit in its own hands is funny.
There went my chance to get Sam Pink on again.
Yeah, anyway, I mean, no, I don't care.
Owen Benjamin's not reactionary. Yeah, Jews, they're talking about the Jews. I don't care about that shit, man. Okay,
No, I don't care
people
about
say
that
things. People say things, and that's all there is to it. I mean, and you never know how much they mean it or not. All I know is that people crowd Alex Jones's chat room to say he's one of them because he won't talk about what the Jews have done, and he's on all these.
Well, Alex Jones is controlled opposition.
See, you're
He's
one
a total.
of them.
He's a total
You're
op.
one of them.
He's
Wow.
Alex Jones is a total op.
This got derailed big time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Ben brought up Jewish people. I don't have.
I brought up how you brought up Owen Benjamin, and I brought up how he hates Jewish people.
Well, I mean, whether he does or not, I don't know. I just know he burns his kids' children's books, his kids' like Dinosaur Rocket and Rocket to the Moon books, and isn't that enough to make him a basket case? That's what I was getting.
Oh, I get you. Okay, so he actually is burning the the rocket ship book because he believed that it's like, you know.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
For going to the moon.
Yeah, I showed it on this show. Yeah, he burned his son's Dinosaur Going to the Moon book.
That's great.
Yeah, he's a complete basket case.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I don't devote any time to thinking about it. All right, we're getting off track here. I don't devote any time to thinking about this group or this group over here, other than just liberals in general. Okay, and even then, you know, I mean, under the right circumstances, they have something, you know, worthwhile to say. Now, where was I on this? Let's focus.
I don't know.
We're near the end.
Yeah, I think we're on the very last line. In fact.
What do I want from all this? Just for you to know, his book will do what it does, and he will continue to be who he is, which he says in Fuckboy is basically a revolving door of various stages and slangs, and the same is true for me. But having felt a bad cloud for the last couple months trying to deal with this, I wanted to air it out. Every moment I kept quiet, felt horrible, and every step I took towards addressing it felt powerful. And again, Sean wouldn't confront it with me. So what does that tell you? I'd also like for this to be a message to people. If you fuck with this kind of behavior, don't fuck with me. I need this kind of stuff to remain special and meaningful, not some horrid social game. Is that us he's talking about, or me?
Nobody's talking about you, Jeremy.
Yeah, no kidding. Get off your.
Ever.
No, I don't mean it like that, but people who would say, hey, why don't you come on our podcast? That kind of thing.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I
he's
could
talking
hope
about
we
you.
could bring. Yeah, I could hope we bring him on in good faith, but you know.
Because until that changes, the whole thing won't change. It will just be a social club with writing as a consequence and shitty tactics all the way up. So if you fuck with this nonsense, fuck you. And thanks for reading this. Ayo, fuck boy. Where you get that style? That was entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neil
And for the
Bimbo is
record,
here.
I am an unapologetic fan of Sam Hyde. I don't care.
Neil Bimbo is here. He's been sitting in the waiting room apparently.
Sam Hyde
Oh, Neil
rules. I don't
Bimbo.
care.
There we fucking go.
I didn't even know. I didn't know.
I've been sitting
Let
here
me
for
in.
15 fucking minutes now listening to you jibber jabber.
Yeah.
Well, we were
Hearing
talking
it-
about Sam Pink. Somebody in the literary community actually has a beef. It's like my dream come true. Don't it's,
Oh my god, a niche literary beef. Yeah, I saw
the way-
that. I saw that article. I saw Ben posted it. I skimmed it. I haven't like delved into it with any, depth. Why am I seeing two Jeremys on the screen, by the way?
one of them is Gregor, and the one on the text
Ah.
on his face is me.
One
I'm
is
not
the real
football.
Jeremy, and one is the illusion that he summons halfway through the boss
It's a
fight.
scroll.
Yeah,
The one
what,
down there,
yeah.
that's a
You can
scroll.
No,
tell which
no,
one is
the-
the real Jeremy by the racist opinions it's about.
Not racist.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just like Sam Hyde. He's funny.
Well, I think Sam Hyde's funny too, but that doesn't make him not a deranged neo-Nazi.
I don't care. By the way, it's like my friend said the other day. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. If I want to listen to an all right podcast, and not let it rub off on me, I will do that. You know what I mean? But by the way, John Wayne's song has not been playing for the last hour and 15 minutes. That just forgot to. I left it laying all that time. Wow.
You
Which
fool!
podcast are we talking about? I haven't been privy to any of this
Sam
discussion.
Pink wrote a book about Fuckboy,
Not a
Huh?
book, an article.
an article about Fuckboy.
Is it a singular fuckboy or
No, Fuckboy is Fuckboy is a book that's set to be published through one of the big five, and apparently, like it stole a lot of things from Sam Pink's
Yeah,
books.
it's like lifted, not plagiarized, but basically style wise, it's lifted wholesale. Yeah.
Yeah, and he basically sent the manuscript to Sam Pink to try to get his blessing with it, and Sam Pink hated the book.
You know,
That's delightful.
What I love about that is just how real Sam Pink seems coming out of that. You know, wow. It's like he seems like the type that would say something unpopular, you know, or politically incorrect, and not apologize for it later.
Well, good. Yeah.
Well, the apologizing is where they get you.
I know. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, like the only other controversy I know that Sam Pink's been in is where someone complained because he had black people talking in slang in his books.
But I remember in either the Self-Esteem Holocaust Comes Home or Hurt Others or something. He emulates that dialect or whatever on the subway train.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And then he talks about how he just wants to run up and hug her, you know, as in like he's not making fun of the woman. He just loves that the way that she talks, you know. That's what he means. So
he probably wants to touch her hair.
But yeah, he actually does sort of mention that in the
I've
article.
Had a couple. You couldn't tell.
No, that's okay. So have I. He actually
always
talks about
before I tune into the quiet place.
Well, when you have to deal with Jeremy.
No, that's unkind. That's an unkind thing to say.
Well, I mean, that's my role in this.
Unkind person.
I'm sorry. What? I heard.
I mean, I just a minute ago I was talking about how I hope Steven Crowder dies in the hospital. Of course, I'm not
that's
kind.
Not unkind at all. That would be the kindness of many
that would
people.
vastly improve the world.
Only if H3 and Owen Benjamin do too. How about that?
I mean, I don't like H3 either, but I just think he's a little bit like annoying.
H3 is
pop culture
an actual
shit.
person, right? Like a person named Klein, something Klein, right?
I don't know who that is.
It's Ethan Klein and Neil Klein, but yeah.
Is this like a YouTube thing?
Yeah,
it's like a YouTuber guy.
Yeah,
but he was just
on that program.
Sam, what's his name? The same guy that was originally going to debate Crowder pulled a
Sam Cedar.
He pulled a pussy act and had H3 sub in for him, and H3 basically danced around for Crowder, you know, for like I don't know 30 minutes or so without actually answering anything. So it was a bunch of the Sam.
I mean, Crowder is very clearly afraid of Sam Cedar, which is ridiculous because Cedar is like the most milquetoast fucking liberal.
Yeah, I know, and he was too pussy to actually debate Crowder. Yeah,
he tried to, but Crowder just yelled and ran away.
Why are we arguing about YouTube slap fights? Like,
yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't think it was like
the way.
I mean, like ultimately, I don't think it was
wrestlers on the playground, and it's about as real.
Well, yeah, like I don't think it was anything like serious. I thought it was just a public pantsing of a particular idiot who deserved to have a shriveled dick laughed at.
It was a collection of idiots. It was a gaggle of idiots. It wasn't just one. I mean,
you know what
Crowder's always the bigger idiot,
and that's what I'm not going to let you
of
know
idiots.
on. I'm not going to
call them
on that.
It's like like a murder of crows.
Yeah.
You know, a flock of geese. You know what they call a collection of idiots,
including the high intellect liberal Sam Cedar or whatever. He was one of the gaggle of idiots. I'm sorry, he was.
What was the answer there, Mr. Bimbo?
A podcast.
A podcast.
No, podcast is the podcast is the plural of for a collection of white guys.
Fucking looks like here's Pat from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. As far as I know, I've never seen either of you, before in the flesh, besides Jeremy. So, and you've never seen me, so you don't know that either.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it counts for Gregor, since Gregor is actually a goat.
I don't ever want to see what Gregor looks like in his human form.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
No, it would ruin It would ruin a very beautiful mystery.
You're making brilliant strides in goat's presentation.
Yeah, exactly.
Sam Cedar could definitely pass as here comes Pat from SNL. I mean, fucking.
I mean, why are we talking about these people that nobody should
I don't
care
know.
about?
I don't remember how we got onto it, but because
I mean, I'm not even the biggest fan of Sam Cedar. I think his co-hosts are a lot better.
How could you be a fan of that guy in any capacity? He seems terrible. So now you guys got me into this conversation.
Like I said, his co-hosts are a lot better.
You know,
And Michael Brooks was way better, but he had to go and die.
the more interesting beef is Sam Pink and Fuckboy, because I can't remember the guy's name.
Yeah, I'm
Sean
at least like mildly interested in that.
Yeah, Sean Thor
Conroe,
Conroe.
which just sounds like the whitest Ivy League name ever.
That's just too much to remember. Why does he got to have the Thor in there?
Because it's Thor. It's just like, oh, look at me, I'm a fucking Nordic god.
Terrible.
You have to put that in there he has to put that in there to remind people that he's white and rich.
There's already a Big Five author, best-selling, named Brad Thor, so he can't even do that originally. Oh.
I think Brad Thor writes thrillers or something, though, doesn't he?
Did I just drop a diss track? Huh?
No.
No, it's terrible.
Brad Thor, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I know of him. I've never read anything by him. Has anybody read anything by him?
49 results
I haven't, no.
for Brad Thor on Amazon. Man has a 20-book thriller series.
Oh,
20
yes,
fucking books. I'm jealous.
He's got a
I'm
lot to say.
salivating over here.
Yeah.
Have you not read anything by him, though?
I'm gonna buy the first one. Watch me. Oak. Purchased.
What's it
Traveling to
called?
your Kindle now as we speak.
The last page.
The Lions of Lucerne.
Is that history or military thriller or what?
Fuck if I know. I'm gonna find out though, I guess.
You're probably not
doing
like
something.
It's definitely better than being some typical white upper class asshole doing rapper slang book.
Brad Thor is a regular on the Glenn Beck show, so you're probably not going to like it. I'm sorry.
How do you?
Glenn Beck still has a show.
How do you know that? And also, yes, I didn't know that.
I listened to
about
Glenn
that.
Beck. Well, I did when I was on the way home from work anyway. Yeah, I'm not ashamed of that. You're not going to make me ashamed of that.
It's fine. You can read.
I don't need to
Well,
make
Glenn
you
Beck is
I
ashamed
just
of
need to
being
look
Glenn
at your
Beck.
face.
I don't believe in the magic underwear propaganda, But
Oh yeah, he is a Mormon. I keep forgetting.
Is he?
Yeah, I forgot he's a Mormon, but
I
yeah,
didn't know
he's he seemed. I mean, it's hard to tell because he just flattens his Mormonism into the same like evangelical Christianity that they all pander to.
hey, I know how we settle this literary beef.
I bet Brad
with
Thor is
Sam
also
Pink-
a Mormon then.
with Sam
Boxing
Pink.
match.
Yeah, let's do a boxing
Brad
match
Foreman.
for charity. Duh.
Yes.
Fucking idiot, dipshit.
Sam Pink's got to turn his asshole inside out.
Fucking dipshit hot take. The biggest dipshit hot take. Fucking moron.
What are you talking about?
Who do you
Whoa.
think?
Whoa.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Guys.
No,
Brad
either-
Thor. No. I just got the scoop of the century. Brad Thor. Listen to this Wikipedia. Thor announced his candidacy for president of the United States.
I'm voting for him.
Under what party?
Decided against running and left the Republican Party, becoming an independent, citing frustration with the Republican-controlled
Okay.
Congress and President Donald Trump.
Okay, he'll never get elected. He will never get elected.
No, anti-Trump Republicans are dead at this point.
Well, he may not get my vote, but he already got, my dollars. So there's that. Well, I was going to say something. I had something clever to say, but now I can't remember it. Fuck.
Must
That
not have been that
happens.
clever. Okay.
Nah, it must not have been.
So what's the
Oh,
deal?
Mormons. That's right. Don't shit on the Mormons. They are going to survive the oncoming climate apocalypse much better than anyone else in America because they are.
Oh yeah, you're
only
right. You're
Well,
correct.
yeah,
about
the
in
that.
America that still has a sense of social cohesion and mutual aid.
Well, yeah, the shittiest people in the world are gonna survive climate change, and fucking poor ass Bangladesh who didn't do anything is gonna get all the brunt of it.
Exactly. When fucking pandemics sweep through the East Coast, the West Coast, the Mideast, those fucking Mormons are going to be living in some fucking canyon in Utah, just living it up. It's going to be just cockroaches and Mormons after the end.
Yeah, and there's not
I've
too
got
much of
nothing
a
against-
difference.
I've got nothing against the Mormons.
No, I don't either. I'm just saying that people will say, "Oh, the magical underwear thing is a fallacy." I mean, but
Jeremy believes in magic underwear.
a kernel of it is true for it to stick. You see what I'm saying? Huh?
No, there is no truth in magic underwear. None.
You're making me want to write an
there is a kernel of truth in any insult if it hits its mark. If people
look, the magic underwear of the Mormons is far different from the cock cage that you wear. Okay.
From the what?
The cock cage.
What is cock cage?
Yeah,
what do you think it is?
I'm sorry. I just don't think with my mind in the gutter like in quite the way you do. I guess so.
Now I'm gonna write like an erotica serial that is about a guy who is so poor he shops at thrift stores and he buys a pair of magic underwear that belong to this like cult leader, and as soon as he puts it on, he becomes like a sex god, and like women throw themselves at him, and he ends up creating his own cult.
You can do better than that. Come on.
No.
Oh, I can't do better than that.
I mean, he could put that together in the afternoon, so it's not no big deal, right?
Yeah, give me till the end of this podcast. I'll have part 1 up on Amazon.
Right, exactly.
Do you doubt me?
What's the deal with?
He doesn't write in slow mo like us people do.
Yeah. What's the deal with Chronomancer 2? It got pushed back, right?
It did get pushed back. Yes, Chronomancer is in my rearview mirror now. It is coming out on August 27th. So yep. It's going to be great. Please go pre-order it if you haven't. And if you have, go set up a new Amazon account and pre-order it again, you fucking pig. I don't know. I can't do the simp thing. That's Regina's bailiwick.
Is insulting your audience, if you do it consistently, a good way to sustain brand loyalty? I sometimes I see evidence of that. Others,
we don't have an audience, so it doesn't matter.
Well, we got 2 people watching right now, and I guarantee you, by the end of this show, that number will jump after it processes to like 30 some. Okay,
it's probably your guests who are probably sitting in the green room for 15 minutes.
It's probably the bots you bought, you whore.
No, I haven't bought any more bots for months.
You admitted it.
No.
Oh, we
fucking loser.
We caught him out like David Chase on Tony's death scene. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
You absolute fool.
I only did it once, though.
Yeah, I'm sure you only fucked the goat once, too.
Hey, we don't need to know about Jeremy McGregor's torrid night.
It was one.
I've got it on tape, so it doesn't matter. I'll jerk off to it later.
An author, though, Jeremy.
Post that on Facebook to see what his relatives say.
Amazon will ban you for that, for bots, or for the thing with the goat.
Well, yeah, but YouTube is not the same as Amazon. So.
Not yet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, like, you probably, if anybody cared, they could report you for botting, but nobody's going to do that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Didn't think about that.
Yep, you didn't.
You guys may have screwed the pooch hearing more ways, or it just let you off the hook on Sunday nights. I don't know.
So what else is going? Fucking Afghanistan. Jesus Christ! I was 12. I was turning into a teenager when that started. What the hell?
I thought they were pulling out.
They are pulling out. It's already falling to the Taliban. What in the fuck were they doing in that 20 years over there? God damn, they're fucking stupid.
It was about time they
pulled out. Our nation's heroin supply, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about time they pulled out. They've been fucking them forever, right? Oh,
I saw this picture of the U.S. Diplomats getting on a
David Letterman over here.
Yeah, I saw a picture of the U.S. diplomats getting on a helicopter to leave. It looked exactly like the same photo of U.S. diplomats getting on a helicopter to leave Vietnam. We learned nothing.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, did you see that? What's really curious to me is that, I don't know, within the last month, Biden says exactly that. Like, oh, we're not going to see image like we did from Vietnam where our embassy folks are flying in a helicopter off the top of the embassy or whatever, right? I mean, he said that. I mean, but then the DOD guy within the last month says something like, well, it's not like, when we pull out that the Taliban's going to take over the country within a weekend, right? And it just seems like, well, how is it that these guys say these very specific things, right, that aren't going to happen, that the exact things happen? It's just bizarre. Like,
because they know they're going to happen.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand.
Well, why would you say it is the question, right? Like,
why would you say that?
They have to save face because, Raytheon, they might not get their check from Raytheon if they don't.
If they don't say, do what?
If they don't say, oh, well, it's going to be okay, U.S. military intervention overseas is totally justified.
Well, no, what I'm saying is like, how it's amazing that it's so specifically these guys are saying there's no way these things are going to happen, and the wording is exactly right, a description of what actually happened, right? Like it seems like China must be saying, okay, guys, you're going to say these things.
China's not saying anything.
Like you're going to say these things on the air, and then this is what's going to happen. You're going to look like fools, right? Like
this is the exact thing we did.
They don't need China to look like retards.
Huh? Well, no, they don't, I guess, but it's amazing, really. Like it's just amazing, and it must be this. The Afghan government or the soldiers just let them go through, right? They just surrendered, right? They didn't do any fighting, did they?
I mean, yeah, basically, the provincial government, didn't really put up any kind of fight. When you the thing with like Afghanistan is it's a little complicated. They've never been like a completely united country like the way the U.S. is. They've always been like more overall.
You mean like the way the U.S. is?
Yeah, I mean the U.S. is a central country with a central government, and even though Afghanistan technically is like they never really acted that way. Kabul has always been separate from the rest of the country to an extent.
Well, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different tribes, like 50 tribes. It's a tribal place, right? It's not necessarily a cohesive country, right? I mean, that's true, and it's also getting constantly, attacked by various empires throughout history, right? So, I mean, it's never been a place that's been able to have any chance of stability.
It's the graveyard of empires.
Yeah, that's
true.
Exactly.
The Soviet Union, when they had to pull out of Afghanistan, they, they basically fell apart a few years after that. So,
right. And Alexander the Great, I think he failed there as well, right?
Real monkey's paw of a country in retrospect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where
makes me feel real sanguine and secure about the state of the American empire in the next few years.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, the American empire is on its way out. Thank God.
I like being part of the empire.
Yeah,
I don't. I would rather we, focus on ourselves.
Well, then go somewhere else then. I mean,
if you don't like it, you can just leave. Shut the hell up.
No, you shut the hell up. I mean, if it's that bad, then why don't you go join some child liberation army or some shit?
Because he's not a
child liberation army.
The empire never ended. Okay,
that is true. Yeah.
First of all,
it just passed on to the American empire.
Yeah, you got
to read your Philip K. Dick, man, if you want to know what's going
Black
on.
Iron Prison,
right? Exactly.
All. Yeah, we got it so bad, man.
See,
it's
Neil
all
knows
the same.
what he's talking about.
Exactly. All
he's read his Philip K. Dick.
I have. I absolutely have. I am intimately familiar with Dick.
Yes, you are. I am as well.
I don't need this.
You're a bit of a dickhead.
I'm definitely a dickhead, yeah, for sure.
It's a shame. It's a shame he didn't live longer because he could have his own fan base with all sorts of colorful names.
Indeed.
Yeah. Well, doesn't let's see. I think it's David Argonoff actually named his podcast "Dickheads," which is about Philip K. Dick.
Yeah. That is true. I've never heard it though. Well, maybe I heard one episode, but
I think I listened to the episode where
you had The Quiet Place, Jeremy, because it was already taken.
No, you know what? It was before I knew about the movies, but it was used for something else.
Did you notice that the week that The Quiet Place 2, the movie, came out, this podcast randomly got like 2,000 views?
That was when I bought
Sunday night.
So
that was the bots? I thought that was people who were like looking for like The Quiet Place 2 trailer on like Sunday night.
That did not help me.
And we're very confused.
No, that was.
Oh, you spoiled my fun.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, well, I never had that fun because I knew it was not the reason. Even that movie's name, sharing that movie's namesake did not help me. That
I so thought that was like the algorithm thinking
Here's the
like,
deal.
oh, this must be like a multi-hour,
Here's the deal.
symposium by, like a con or something for the Quiet Place people.
I didn't
Go
realize
ahead.
this until I didn't realize this till later. But here's the deal. I would listen to my friend Kevin Strange's audio readings. Like that he would do in serial form on his show back a few years ago, and it was, I think, Computer Face. There was a Quiet Place in that story, and that predates the Quiet Place movies. Now, subconsciously, when I was brainstorming, he was trying to get me back into podcasting, and he said, I'll host you on my site. And I was trying to brainstorm and think, well, what I call it, and it's like, well, I do remember when I blocked or deleted all those, West Coast people who like low key throw shade on me now because of who I voted for. That when I deleted the last one, my Facebook feed was finally quiet in a way that I felt relieved for. And I thought, well, I found my quiet place. But then I realized later I had been listening to that Computer Face audiobook. And so it was subconscious too. But it all came together in this miasma of meaning for me. But it had nothing to do with those movies, though. I just refused to give it up until unless I get a cease and desist.
Intriguing. Yeah, no, it's very much like why should I change? He's the one who sucks situation.
Well, they're not competing markets, and then there's all kinds of film. There's all kinds of films that have the same title.
Yeah, and I'm no John Krasinski or Emily Blunt.
No, he's no Jeremy Maddox.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
But
I am.
Man, I really hope that God, if only we hadn't gotten off on that little diversion. I hope that didn't ruin our chances of saying
You could always, delete this, I suppose.
No,
or edit it.
That's the magic of live, man.
Self censorship. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, live streams are live. Fuck it, I would
much like the film The Quiet Place. It's an intensely uncomfortable experience to eat popcorn while experiencing this.
Yeah, I wish more authors would experiment with beefing. I swear I do. It just maybe
no one wants to beef with me. Well,
why is that?
I'm too nice. Well,
I mean, what would they beef with you about? When they just come on and unless they're one of those deranged idiots who are like, "Oh, you're a misogynist." Yeah.
I've had that. I had the podcast that did that, but I've also had people try to jack me, to plagiarize me. I think I might have mentioned it on this podcast before, but I was writing an erotica serial a few years back called The Alpha Inheritance, which was about a guy who is a distant relative of a guy who has mind control powers, and when he dies, he gets them as part of his inheritance, and that's not important. But midway through this serial, someone else started writing a very similar series with the title "The Alpha's Inheritance," to try and jack some of my readership, and that's without even getting into the fact that for a while there was an erotica writer on Amazon whose pen name was, I shit you not, first name Bim, B-I-M, last name Beau, B-E-A-U. So they would show up in the same searches. They're gone now. I have never, reported any of this or done anything about any of this because why do I give a fuck? But that person no longer exists. I think The Alpha's Inheritance still exists on Amazon somewhere. Obviously don't give it a negative review or anything. I don't give a fuck. That's why I don't beef. I don't give enough of a fuck. You can literally just plagiarize one of my not plagiarize, but you can just rip off one of my stories, give yourself a pen name that's very similar to me, and I won't do anything about it. I'm too busy making more stories,
You know,
Well, yeah, you're just gonna win, right? I mean, that's the
Well,
thing.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You got to pick your battles.
Hey, what was that? I heard through the grapevine long time ago that there were 2 instances of a certain author.
I don't know what's going on, but you're really
Yeah,
muffled right now.
you sound like
Yeah.
you're under a pillow.
Is your cat on your mic?
Okay, what about
That's
what about
better.
now?
I think Gracie's butt might have been on the mic.
What about now? What about
Yeah,
now?
Not fine yet.
You're
Listen,
fine.
yeah, put your mouth on the butt to make sure that we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this author on Ladybox, is that still a thing?
I'm
I
not
don't know
sure.
what that is.
I haven't seen any updates on it.
King Shot, a few others.
I know what Ladybox is. I just don't know if it's still active or not.
It's where we all came from.
I think it was run by I think it was run by J. David Osborne's wife, if I remember right.
Okay. What was the movie that that this author said basically, Gracie, honey, I'm sorry.
Oh, was it? I think it was either Tiffany I think it was Tiffany Scandal.
Yes. What was the movie though?
I can't remember the movie, but she did talk about how she there was a movie that came out on Netflix that was very similar to Shit Luck.
Would it be improper if I like paraphrased here? Because I meant to know this a long time ago, just as a thing that was interesting. I found interesting. Would that be?
I don't think so. No, I don't think
What
so.
now?
I finally watched Russian Doll on Netflix. I had been nervous to watch this because too many people reached out to say how much it reminded them of my book Shit Luck, which is about a woman who like keeps dying and going through this like Land of the Dead type loop, right? If I recall, it's been a long time. And then she does it in like, several posts here. See, some book months after my book came out, an entertainment attorney reached out and asked to buy the rights to my book because he wanted to option it for film and TV. Knowing nothing about this world, I asked my editor and friend to look over the proposal and tell me what's up. He gave me notes. I listened. I signed a contract. I cashed the check. I waited. The contract was good for a year. If something happened, would hear back from more people and sign more paperwork, but I knew nothing would come of this. Shit like this just doesn't happen to people like us. Wait.
Oh,
This idiot. We'll have to wait for. He's dead now. His cat killed him.
that was he shouldn't. Yeah, that's literally like the last frame in like a found footage horror movie.
Yeah,
Except
exactly.
You can see the silhouette of something behind him.
Look,
We were talking about
whatever.
found footage horror movies while you were gone.
Yeah, whatever killed you looks like is taking control of your flesh.
Can you please open your mouth to make sure you're not so we can make sure you're not a mass of writhing cockroaches in there?
That's insulting. Come on, man.
Look, I'm not saying you're a mass of writhing cockroaches. I'm saying the thing that killed you and is now wearing your skin is a mass of writhing cockroaches.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be a mass of writhing cockroach.
The fact that you won't do it is increasing my suspicion.
I feel.
Yeah, well, it's no longer the quiet place for Jeremy Maddox. It's Jeremy Maddox with the Roach King.
That's a book. That's a horror novel, isn't it?
That's a song by a
no, it's also a book though. The Cockroach King. But my favorite Roach-based novel is The Roaches Have No King. It's based in the 80s.
But you were talking about
you were talking about this scandal that Russian Doll was ripped off from some book.
I feel like it was two separate posts, and I'm only finding one. But yeah,
as someone who's been accused of ripping off someone else's idea for a book, it seems sketchy as best. The idea that woman dies and relives the events leading up to her death over and over again does not seem like a terribly such an original fucking idea that it can be copywritten.
But she made a deal with an entertainment lawyer. Okay, that's the thing. Now that's fairly common, that things that are conceived by one person can be passed off to someone else who didn't come up with the idea, or they just write a spec script on it, that they're commissioned to or something. And I mean, you can see evidence of that. Like, I know no one here is a wrestling fan like me, but Bray Wyatt, one of the greatest wrestling minds creatively in decades, comes up with the Fiend character, develops this Fiend character with the help of Sam or Stan. Who's the makeup guy on Friday the 13th? Stan. What's his guy's name?
I have no idea.
Oh man.
Sorry, pal. I'm no help here.
Tom Savini. Okay, Tom Savini. He hires Tom
Brad
Savini.
Savini.
Yeah, and
You still have Brad Thor on the brain from earlier.
Oh, he said Tom Savini, right?
Tom Savini. Yeah,
No, he was saying Brad before he looked it up. He was like Brad something. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to derail your train of thought.
Well, I'm making a point here in defense of Tiffany Scandal's, point. Okay, Bray Wyatt, yeah, he developed that character, the mask and everything with Tom Savini, knowing that it would hook the horror crowd in, and it did. The problem is that Vince McMahon is a petty little shit and loves to undermine his own talent unless they're like John Cena or The Rock or somebody, who just helped him conquer the world one time after another. Okay, so they took the Fiend character, and when he took a sabbatical or whatever to address some issues he had, they gave the Fiend character to Alexa Bliss, who just wanted to work with him. Okay, she didn't want to take over the character, but and then it transformed in this whole other thing, and they fire Bray Wyatt totally gracelessly, totally, without any, couth or business savvy, because he's one of the top merchandise sellers, and they kicked his ass down the road. And now she gets to keep the Fiend character, or they can pawn it off on someone else to interact with her, because now they own the Fiend character, and that's his own fault for not seeing that, trusting that, he had a good working relationship with them. But that's how that works, though. When someone else owns the, and this is just armchair, analyst stuff, like way removed from even, a big city locally like Nashville. I'm just here in my little swamp, but these things do happen. There is a case for her to pat herself on the back. I'm just saying. So.
You live in a swamp?
I take it back.
No,
We can talk about YouTube slap fights.
No.
No, I mean, yeah, we've always known that Shrek here lives in a swamp.
No, but that's what you guys think. So I'm playing to my own stereotypes to show that I'm not a fucking pussy like all these other groups. There you go.
Well, I didn't think you lived in a swamp.
Okay, well, I don't, but it's okay if you want to.
You live in a holler, right? I mean,
that's what I thought.
I do live in a holler.
He lives way down. He lives way down yonder in a hollow tree with an owl and a bat and a bumblebee.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say he lives way down yonder at the Chattahoochee.
I went more old school than that.
Man.
Jeremy, do we know how much that muddy water means to you? Oh, Ben, I wanted to ask you something while there's a lull in the conversation. I see that your new novella, novelette, whatever you want to call it.
It's a short story, yeah.
Short story is up, and that it's going up on Godless tomorrow. Just before I purchase it, is there any content that is exclusive to the Godless version, or is it the same thing?
Yeah, there is exclusive content to the Godless version, and I recommend waiting till that's out tomorrow, or I can actually send it to you if you want. I can send you a PDF.
Please throw it off a train in my Facebook Messenger inbox.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll after the show, I'll message it to you.
Guys,
awesome, thanks.
Guys, we got somebody coming in named Bruno. Something tells me this is an op of some sort or a troll, but we'll see. Hey,
oh dear, we've got a psyop.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey,
Hey, Bruno.
Who are you?